employment and labor itself. I mean, the noises you're all making are landing on deaf ears. No one seems to care.
I would unfortunately have to agree with you on that. And I would just like to begin by saying that as the People's Tribunal on agrotoxins, we would like to send our deepest condolences to the parents and to the families who've lost children. It must be unbearably painful for them. And we can extend all of our compassion to them because unfortunately this reality just silently has been occurring on farms for generations and generations. Farm workers they are exposed to pesticides, they get extremely sick, and even their children also are sick, and deaths on farms due to pesticide is normal. So at this point in time, there is a mutually influential. We're rising together around a topic that we all care about, and I think it's time, like they say, a lack of urgency. It's time for us to insist upon to the Department of Agriculture that they need to ban these highly hazardous pesticides. The Department of Labor to enforce the pesticide properly if they're going to be used, and the Department of Health to play its part. And as the pesticides, we feel that heads must roll. Those responsible for this tragedy must be held accountable.
Well, speaking of accountability, it was the former Minister of Agriculture, wasn't it, who told the People's Tribunal that your protests are in fact premature?
You know, not the former, the current one, John Steenhuisen. Yes, as the tribunal, we went to Parliament and we were saying once again, the other issue that we face as farm workers is that at this point there's no public registry around the pesticides. We don't know which pesticides are being used, which pesticides are being allowed. If you ask the Department of Agriculture, they redirect you to CropLife, which is the pesticide lobby and the pesticide industry. And so I don't understand why this information is not available. It should be front and center on the Department of Agriculture's website. And in actual fact, if they were serious about stopping these deaths, that tomorrow that would be the case. Tomorrow they would release the list of all the pesticides that are available and are being used on farms. So he said our protest was premature when we insisted on this list and we insisted on the ban of these harmful pesticides. But if he had to take our words, then maybe these deaths would not have occurred.
How strong is the lobby that includes people who are selling or manufacturing or importing these toxic chemicals?
Well, all lobbies are powerful, and this one in particular, as I said, Agri-Intel is the information systems. So if you want the list of pesticides being used in South Africa, you have to apply, you have to pay, and not only do you have to pay, but they select membership. So even if you're willing to pay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you become a member and get the list. So as long as they hold that list, we're all shooting in the dark. We don't have a sense of what is being used. We don't have a sense of what is banned and what is not banned. And as I said, it's worth billions. So recent research showed that over the last 5 years, from 2019 to 2025, South Africa imported to the value of 38 billion rand. And those are the big companies, those are your Bayers, your Bassett. And CropLife we have CropLife South Africa, but CropLife is an international body and they have CropLives all across the world and one big body. And on that body, you have all the big names, Syngenta, Bayer, Bassett. And those industries are extremely lucrative, so lucrative that Bayer, despite all the lawsuits and the charges that it's facing because of Roundup and Monsanto, still decided to buy Monsanto and now offers Roundup as a product under their umbrella. So that gives you a sense of how profitable the industry is, that they're prepared to pay legal costs just as long as they can sell the particular brand of product.
Karamake, let me thank you for your time. She's from Women on Farms. They have been campaigning against this highly toxic agrochemical called Force, which of course is partly responsible for some of the problems we've been having. As you heard from her, no one seems to care, certainly not the authorities. Up next,